Shadow work is speaking to the quote unquote worst parts of yourself, the parts of yourself that you try to hide, the parts of yourself that you're afraid of the world seeing, the parts of yourself that are the reason why you clench up when you get around people, the parts of yourself that are the reason why you have social anxiety, you lack confidence, all of the above. That's what we're going to get into today. So I have my little notebook here, and I'm going to give you guys 7 tips on starting your shadow work journey, and then we're going to do a step-by-step example at the end of this video to walk you through how I do my shadow work on a day-to-day basis. And it's nothing crazy. It's nothing like that you can't do. It's nothing that you can't do, and it's going to benefit you, and it's going to give you all those things that you keep saying that you're lacking. You keep saying that you lack self-esteem. You keep saying that you lack confidence, but you don't lack those things, okay? They're right here. They're right here. They're not outside of you. You can't find them in the external. They're right in here. Okay? So, first, we talked about shadow work, what shadow work is, but now we're going to talk about why it's important. It's important for the reasons that I just said. A lot of people are looking for confidence, self-esteem, approval. They're looking for all of these things on the external. Shadow work will show you how to get these things on the internal, because that's where it needs to be sourced from. You can't have real, true confidence when you're chasing it externally. If you're chasing confidence from approval from others, if you're chasing confidence in productivity and money and success, those things aren't going to last. And that confidence isn't rooted in something that's internal and something that's infinite. It's rooted in something that's going to change. The external is forever changing. So if your confidence is rooted in your looks, then whenever you don't look that good, or whenever someone tells you you're ugly, you're going to feel unconfident. You're going to feel like you don't look good. And eventually, your looks are going to change. All this is going to change. You're going to get older, and you're going to get a little bit crustier, and your posture's going to get crazy. You're going to get older, and your looks might fade. So you don't want to source your confidence in something that's outside of yourself. That's number 1, okay? That's number 1. Number 2, why shadow work is important is because a lot of us are not living. A lot of us aren't truly reaching the potential of how good this life could be, okay? A lot of us are living in our head. A lot of us aren't even living. A lot of us are just surviving, okay? A lot of us are fighting ourselves. We're in a battle with ourselves. And shadow work is going to help you get out of that. Instead of battling yourself, instead of resisting yourself, instead of being anxious, instead of being nervous, instead of hating yourself, you're going to be able to welcome yourself. And you're going to be able to welcome the darkest, deepest parts of yourself. And you're going to be able to live knowing that you're going to have these emotions and not being afraid of them, and knowing that you're going to, get sad, knowing that you're going to fuck up, knowing that these things will happen, and knowing how to deal with them, knowing your alchemies for success. It's okay to be sad. I'm not saying it's not okay to be sad. It's okay to be angry. It's okay to feel these things, but what's not okay is when you resist these things. What's not okay is when you say, I'm sad, I'm just going to binge eat, I'm just going to consume some content, I'm just going to take some drugs. That's resisting, and that's why we need to get into shadow work, because you don't need none of that. Shadow work will show you that you don't need any of that, okay, babe? Okay, so step 1, like I said, is to stop resisting your shadow. You want to confront those parts of yourself that you're afraid of, and you want to learn to accept them and welcome them in with open arms. And just because I say accept them and welcome them, that doesn't mean that you have to obey them. It doesn't mean that you have to stay stuck in those mindsets and those limiting beliefs. Just because I say accept that you believe that you're not enough doesn't mean to always believe that you're not enough and be okay with that. It just means to accept that, welcome that in, and show it some kindness, and show it some curiosity, and show it some interest. Show that you're willing to get to know those deepest, darkest parts of yourself, and you're willing to grow, and you're willing to accept them where they are, accept yourself where you are, and welcome yourself. All those parts that we're resisting, we're afraid of feeling anxious, we're afraid of going out into public and being perceived, we're afraid of all these things. Instead of trying to just get rid of them, instead of just trying to do like body language hacks and confidence hacks, you want to confront those parts of yourself. You want to ask yourself, why am I feeling the way that I'm feeling? Why is this coming up for me? But we're gonna get into the example at the end of this video. Okay, I'm gonna show you step by step just how to do this. I'm gonna show you a prime example I use on my day-to-day life of me getting down to the root of what I'm feeling. Because I do, like, even though I talk about this stuff doesn't mean I don't deal with it. The reason I talk about this stuff is because I deal with it. The reason I bring this shit up is because this is my reality. This is how I'm learning to help myself this is how I'm learning to grow, learning to do my shadow work. And I'm helping you guys, I'm taking you guys along with me. Step 2, you want to write it down. You want to write it down, type it up in your notes, whatever you're feeling at the moment, okay? Really check in with yourself and don't bullshit this, okay? Be honest. Really check in with yourself. When you write down how am I feeling, don't just be like, I'm feeling all right. Like, really put some effort into it, okay? Because this is not going to work if you don't, all right? So say right now, what am I feeling? If I was to write down what I'm feeling right now, I would write down, I'm feeling excited and at ease right now. I'm feeling a little bit of hurt coming up from a situation that I'm going to talk about in the end of the video when I do my shadow work with you guys. I'm feeling a little bit of nerves, a little bit, but just the jitters from filming. So yeah, you just want to write it down and you want to look at it as the witnesser. So when I say look at it as a witnesser, you want to look at it as kind of like a judge, someone watching yourself. So the technique I like to use, one is every day for 15 minutes, I watch my thoughts. Now this can be in silence, this could be during yoga, this can be with a meditation. But what you want to do is you want to become the witnesser of what you're thinking. So to do that, a simple step would be to close your eyes, take a deep breath, calm your nerves, and say, I wonder what thought is going to come up next. And you sit and you wait for a thought to come up. And you see what comes up for you. And a good one I found is writing down what comes up, not judging it, not trying to analyze it, just writing down what comes up and going back. I wonder what's gonna come up next. And you realize you also reach a sort of state of presence in that, because now you're watching your thoughts and you're not identifying with them, you're not judging them, you're not analyzing them, you're just watching them. And this is really good for any trigger that comes up, any thought process that comes up. This is really a good shadow work tip, okay? You want to write down what you're feeling, and then maybe after, when you do want to get a little analytical about it, you want to be curious. You want to, so say I wrote down, I'm not enough. You want to be curious and be like, okay, why do you feel like you're not enough? Like as if you're talking to a friend that you really love, or you're talking to someone that you really, really adore and love. So they said, I'm not enough. Okay, why are you not enough? Of course you're enough. Yeah. Step 3 is always ask yourself why. Stay curious about your emotions. Always ask yourself, like, why am I feeling this? Like, if something triggers you outside, first of all, realize that it's not the trigger that made you feel this way, okay? Like, your thought process around the trigger is what makes you feel this way. So, like, say someone raised their voice at you, okay? And you got sad. The person raising their voice at you is not the reason you got sad. Okay, let's disconnect those things right now. I know it sounds crazy. Let's disconnect those things right now, because what makes you sad is the thoughts surrounding what the person did. So like say you have person A, you have person B. Person A believes that they're not enough. Person A believes that their existence is a burden to the world. But person B is stable and confident and proud of themselves and confident in themselves, and they source their confidence from within. Say a person raises their voice at person A, who believes that they're not enough, who believes their existence is a burden. They're gonna feel sad about having someone raise their voice at them, because it reinforces their idea that they're a burden to the world. They're a burden, and their existence is a burden. So they're gonna feel sad. The person B, whose confidence is sourced from within, who feels proud of themselves at all times, who feels happy, who feels stable, they're not going to be as angry. They're not going to be as sad. They're going to be like, okay, that whatever that person is personal to them. They're not, them yelling at me isn't personal to me, and it says nothing about me. So person B is going to feel differently. And so you see, like, the person raising their voice at you is not what causes your emotions. It's what you think about that person raising their voice at you that causes that emotion. Okay? So that's why you need to always ask yourself, why am I feeling this way? What thoughts are leading you to feeling this emotion? And what is this emotion leading to you doing? Number 6 is, it won't last forever, and it's a continuous process. So remind yourself that you are not broken and you are not imperfect because you're not healing fast enough. Just because you do like a day of shadow work and you feel like this epiphany high and you're like, yes, like I'm healed, like it is a long process, okay? And you probably will be dealing with these things until you die, okay? But the point of shadow work healing isn't just to completely heal every part of you and for you to feel enlightened and for you to feel like, you know, of course that might be the goal for some of you, but what you want to do is be able to just live and to be able to just live a life where you're not concealing parts of yourself, if that makes sense. You want to be able to live a life where you're not resisting your emotions. So this is a long process. This isn't something that you're just gonna overcome. Like, this isn't just something that's just gonna happen, okay? Like this, like, even though I'm talking about this and even though, you know, I seem confident, I seem like I know what I'm talking about, this is still a process for me. Like, I'm still working on this as we speak. I'm still working on feeling worthy. I'm still working on all these things. And yes, I have made a lot of progress, but it is a lifelong thing. Like, everyone you see is going through something. No matter how enlightened they seem, no matter how perfect they seem, everyone's going through something, okay? Everyone's has their things. So you may be listening to these gurus and they may be talking about like how like perfect and how amazing their life is now that they've done shadow work and now they don't ever like feel sad and shit. Everyone has their things, okay, guys? Like, you're not alone and you're not the only person that's going through some shit, okay? Like, you're not alone. You're not alone, okay? So number 7, I just wanted to have a reminder that you're doing fine and you are getting there. Every day you're doing better than you did before, okay? Shadow work is a process and you are doing just fine, okay? You're not broken, you're not wrong, you're not bad. Now I'm gonna show you guys the example that I was talking about, and I'm gonna screen record my notes app for this. I do a lot of my shadow work in my notes. We're gonna do what I like to call CBT, which is cognitive behavioral therapy, okay? I learned this in therapy, actually. So this is a really good shadow work exercise, okay? And it's breaking down why you feel the way you do. It's basically asking those questions. So if you want to do this with me, please take that effort and do it with me. So first we have trigger, then we have thoughts, then we have emotion, then we have behavior, okay? So what you want to do is the trigger will be what happened and not your projection of what happened, not what you think happened, what happened. Okay, I'm going to make up a hypothetical situation actually because I don't want to like spread my business, okay? Let's say what happened is your mom raised your voice at you. Okay? And what you want to do instead, a lot of people like to jump to emotion. Like, how did that make me feel? Like fucking shit, okay? But no, first we gotta see what we thought around that. Mom raised her voice at me and I thought, I'm not enough. I'm a burden. She hates me. These may sound extreme, but this is really how my mind be thinking, okay? Mom raised voice at me. Let's say she said I needed to clean more and I'm a slob. Okay? So I'm gonna be thinking I'm not enough, I'm a burden, she hates me. She thinks I'm dirty. So this basically represents like lack of her approval. Like, because I don't have her approval, I feel like I'm unworthy of love. And I do this with a lot of people. Like, if I don't have someone's approval, I feel like I'm a burden to them. I feel like I'm not enough, and I feel like I need their approval. And without their approval, I'm just like not worthy of love. Like, I'm not worthy of good things, not deserving of good things. I probably think I'm not doing enough. She's not proud of me. So these are thoughts that I be having sometimes when my mom raises her voice at me. And so it's not like, oh, fuck my mom for raising her voice at me. She made me feel this. It's she raised her voice at me and I thought this, which made me feel this. Because we're going to get into why this is the case, okay? So I already explained it, but we're going to, like, this is a better way to map it out, okay? So then your emotion, how would I feel? I'd probably feel sad. I'd probably feel angry. I'd probably feel resentful. And then so my behavior will probably be cry. I probably self-isolate, go to my room. I probably be resentful and hold a grudge towards her. I probably make myself small. And what I mean by make myself small is sometimes, like, I'll just get out of the way. Like, I'll just shut down. I'll just stop being all that I am, okay? So, yeah, so that's my behavior, my emotion, my thought. But you see how the trigger isn't what caused the emotion. It wasn't trigger emotion. It was trigger thought emotion, okay? I just want you guys to get that, all right? Like, that's a big shift I had to make. Knowing that other people and external things are the reason why I feel the way I feel. I feel the way I feel because internally I'm telling myself these things. So my evidence for she hates me, I'm not enough, is raising voice, calling me a slob. And then my new evidence for a counter thought. Okay, so a counter thought to I'm not enough, to I'm a burden, is I am enough. And what mom says has nothing to do with me. I am not a burden. I am allowed to take up as much space I want as I please. Yeah, something like that. And my new evidence for this would be, my evidence for me being allowed to take up space is I am human. I'm a human and I was put into this world just as everybody else, okay? And I'm allowed to take up space. Why would I not be allowed to take up space? So why not? My evidence for I am enough is, once again, I am me. And that is my only requirement for being enough. I'm spiritual, so I believe in God. So I'd also say God loves me and God made me in his image. All right, so you just want to, you get the point, okay? So you want to break down why you're feeling the way you're feeling. And with shadow work, you want to go even deeper. So for this, you want to go deeper, and where you'd go deeper at is your thoughts. So instead of just like going straight to emotion, like, you can do that, but what you want to do is ask yourself why. Why do you feel like you're not enough? And why is that not accurate? Okay, like why are you actually enough and you're just tripping? Ask yourself why you feel like you need other people's approval to feel like you're worthy of love. Okay, you want to just ask yourself these questions, and you want to go in depth, and you want to do the hard work. Okay, so that's all I have for you guys today on shadow work. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Down below I have my free guide to transforming your life. It has a habit tracker, a budgeting tool, a habit tracker, and how to like stay consistent with your habit tracker. It includes a budgeting tool, why it's important to budget, all of that. Like, it helps you out, girl, and it helps you overcome your negative thought patterns. This is all for free, y'all. Total transformation toolkit for free. You want to save money, you want to break bad habits, you want to overcome negative thought patterns. This is basically kind of the same principle I taught you guys in this video, but a little bit more step by step and a little bit more like in depth. Okay, so it gives you a good little worksheet, and I also have an ebook on mastering self-discipline. That's a little bit different of a topic, but shadow work is a big part of that, loving yourself enough to have self-discipline. But yeah, if you want to go check that out, they'll both be in the link in the bio, and I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Thank you guys for watching Mental Mind Seeds. All right, peace.